Yeah, it is going to be activity and it is going to be fun. Okay, so I will start this session. Activity comes for later, not now.
So that is seriously you, sir. You went to the space,
Yeah, I tried going to space and I did go to space. I jumped a little higher and okay.
but see, when you're small, you went.
Yes, I was very small then I went there. So today we'll begin with what we know already. So you know me and you know all my friends. So all the 10 people who are going to travel across the universe with me. And we saw last week about how planets are formed, how is planet morphology, what is the planet's exploration, searching for signs of life, and all these things we saw in the last week. And it was something that we also tried learning about all the uniqueness of the planet, how planets form, what is collision, how does a planet's core form, all these things we saw. And we started seeing about how communication happens between one planet and another planet, all these things we were seeing. So it was lot of chaos, lot of imaginative things that was been happening for the last billions and billions of years. So all these things have happened, and now we have come to the point where we are already traveling out of our world and going to some other places, and possibly in the next maybe 10 years or 15 years from now we will be going to another planet called Mars. So how are we going to live there? How can we live there on Mars? So that is the question we are going to get answered today, and this is what we are starting with. So Mars is basically like a very quick destination from Earth. So once in 2 years, if you start from Earth, you can go to Mars in about 7 to 8 months time. Apart from that, every other time you travel, it will take you more than 2 to 3 years to reach Mars because it is very far away from us by that time. That is because from Earth to Mars, the travel time is only 340 days if you start at the right time. That is every 2.5 years. So if we started in 2020, we would reach there by 2021 February. But if you start now, if you start today, you will reach Mars only sometime in the late of 2023 or 24. That's why scientists plan it in such a way we can go to Mars only in this particular time. So every 2 years once we will send a spacecraft or people or humans or whatever to that planet, and we can see them and we can collect them back after 2.5 years. Please don't mute me. And
Sorry, sir. I was going to discard the chat box and then I pressed it by mistake.
no, so all these things are happening in such a way that we are trying to explore opportunities and go to Mars and live there. So what are the things we need to know? We need to know what is their atmosphere, what is the temperature, what is the day there, because our day is 23 hours.
Atmosphere is a thick blanket present on the earth. Sir, tomorrow I have science exam and in that one of the lessons are called exploring space.
So we'll get the answers after the session. So for the next 20 minutes,
Liar! It's EVS only.
Sana,
In one of the lessons.
Sagar, I want you to be a little silent for the next 20 minutes. After that, I will give you all the answers. Okay? Fine. Okay. So that is how we are planning. So what are the things we are need to do for getting into a planet which is supposed to be very dangerous planet to go there, because there is always some kind of asteroids happening to hit us. There might develop a technology that can even kill us, or we may go extinct in the planet Earth. All these things will happen. So we are in some kind of need to go to another planet and live there. So first things first, because Mars is very close to us, we can go there quickly. It is almost warm, it is almost cold, it is somewhat very easy for us to go there and stay there for some time. And it has got,
Sir, before you were saying it will take 2 to 3 years, but now you are saying it will take only for close to Earth. Yeah.
yeah, uh, I told you now it is only a few times year. That is every 2.5 years once it will be very close. After that time, it will be a little far away. So if you need to go catch Mars, you have to run a little faster than Mars. That is happening only once in 2.5 years. So that is what I'm
Okay,
trying to tell.
sir. So you're telling it after 2 years again it will start, and after it will go, and then again after 2 years it will start.
No, it is not stopping and starting. It is like we are close to that place once in 2 years. But after that time, either Mars is a little behind us, or we are little ahead of Mars. We are very close to the Sun compared to Mars, so our orbit is much faster. So compared to Mars, I will tell you a little later. Okay. So all these things are happening so that we can go there, and we want to go there and live a happy life. We don't want to get killed by any problems in Mars. So we need to take care of temperature, we need to take care of radiation, we need to take care of gravity. All these things are there, and there is no way we can come back to home, that we can do shopping here. So that all these things are not happening because Mars doesn't have all the facilities that we have right now in Earth. So we need to take care of so many things. We need to take care of all the water, air, food, warmth, sunshine, clothing, all these things we have to take care. And we also need to get little advanced when we are going to Mars. So how are we doing this? So we first need to go there and prepare
Sir,
ourselves.
can I drink water?
Yes, please. So we have to prepare ourselves in such a way that we can go there and live with our first basic need, that is water. So we can either recycle water, or we can use the water that is already there in the polar region, that is on the southern pole of Mars. All these things are very easy to mine and take. Air, obviously, it has very thin atmosphere, but we can use a lot of technical advancements. That is, we can create oxygen from other elements that are there in Mars. Now scientists are trying to create oxygen from carbon dioxide, like breaking the carbon atoms and making oxygen out of carbon dioxide. So they are trying to do that. And for making food, they are trying to build biospheres. That is, even in Earth there are places where they will they will turn the entire planet into a barren land, and they will make sure that they can grow crops, they can grow all the necessity things at their place. That is called hydroponics. That is an very advancement in bringing new plants and animals in the another place. Then making a fertile dirt, that is making your sand very nutrient rich. We need food to live, and we need 3 meals a day, or sometimes we need 4 meals a day, so that we can live happily. But what about plants? They need some kind of enriched sand to live in. So they all need nutrients. Most of it is given by the dead animals, dead fish, earthworms. Everything will give them the necessity nutrients for them to grow. This is the way in which we can do it. So when we do it in Earth, we can also try to make it in Mars. And making clothes that is easy to wear. Sometimes you try to go to school in your school uniform. Sometimes you try to go in your color dress when you are in your Saturdays, or when you are having your birthday and all these things. But scientists thought we can't do that in Mars, so we need to have some kind of protection. So they thought through a lot of innovative materials. So now they are trying to make some kind of radiational prevention material that is very reflective, like the one that you are seeing right now. It is made up of nano coatings. So all these nano coatings is absorbing the heat, and it is quickly giving it out, so that you don't get very warm inside. And if you try to build a space, you have to go and stay there for a very long time. So what they did, they tried to find a lot of opportunities. Then they made sure that we can use the sand there, because it is made up of a lot of iron based elements. We can melt that, we can make it into a kind of mold, and we can start to print. There is a technology called 3D printing, and using 3D printing they can make the homes there. That is how they are trying to create biospheres in Mars. And all this material has to have some kind of reusability. So even iron, other materials like vehicles, cars, all these things can be made. Even brick, concrete, all material is there, but only thing, it has to be made from fresh. So you can't take everything from Earth and going and dropping it there on Mars. So this opportunity has come. Now all this there, sir. What about every day you have to turn on the TV, you have to surf the internet, you need a lot of battery in your backpack. all these things what we'll do. So there are ways in which you can do it. You can use nuclear power, you can use solar energy, wind energy. Earth is very happy because Earth we have all these three things done and tested. We have created nuclear plants, we have created solar plants, we have wind farms all over the planet. But if you go there and put it in Mars, you have to make sure that it is capable enough to be run all the time, because Mars winds are very big. So Mars has storms that come for nearly 2 to 3 months. So there is a very big dust storm that goes in Mars, that happens between the month of June and August. So these months are very dusty months and you can't even go
Cycle.
outside. It's not like cyclone, it is like a dust storm, dust cyclone. It's not like rain is not flowing there in Mars, only dust is going there in Mars. So it's a very big huge dust storm that happens in Mars. So we have to take care of that also when we are running turbines, or when we are running windmills. All these things we have to take care. And we have to take care of going around the space, because you can't just jump around and go all long distance. So Mars is like about quarter to the size bigger than the moon, and it is slightly bigger than when compared to that. So when you are looking at that place that is very 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 big, you have to have some kind of vehicles. So you need to run the vehicle. You can't take petrol, you can't put diesel. You have to use all these things that are made possible only by the instruments that are available there. So scientists are now working on equipments. What you are seeing here is a it's a moon rover, which the Apollo mission used in 1970s. So Apollo had about 9 people who had gone across the space and went to moon, and they drove vehicles in the moon and they tried to make some experiments there. So this is one part of that experiment, riding another four-wheeler in another place apart from Earth. And even robotics, they are trying to make thing. You watch what this robot is doing. Okay, what did it do?
It opened the door, just sir.
And what did it do after opening the door?
It helped it helped the other robot to come inside.
Okay, so like that we have to use robots to help ourselves. So when we are humans, we need to take the help of robots to do all the heavy lifting. So we need to carry things, we need to put something in some place. We can't carry
So
everything by.
this humans can do, no?
Yeah, we it can do, but now this is an experimental robot. It is not a production robot. It is not being used in Mars, or it is not being very actively used in Earth also. It is very experimental robot. Now scientists are trying to find reasons whether we can send this to either Mars or other planets. And after all doing this, we need to take care of so many things also. We need to take care of life support system, we need to take care of electronics, we need to take care of all the solar panels, windmills, we need to take care of games, we need to take care of books. How do you make books when there are no trees? How do you make musical instruments when there is no trees, or when there is no other elements in there? So all these things we have to think through. So what are they planning, and how are they bringing it from Earth to Mars? They are going to make it sure that it is going to be long and sustained life. That is, from day one, if they go and land there, for the next 2.5 years, you don't have to phone every time to Earth and say, hello bhaiya, please send me some two parcels, one containing food and one containing all the chips. You can't ask
Sir,
that.
I have a question. Can you see in QA?
I will answer it in the last, not now. Okay. So after all doing this, we have to make sure that people can go and live there happily. That's what we are being planning for a long time, and that's why Mars is now a very big place to go and study. And after doing all these things, they need to take some rest. All the scientists have to take some rest, do some activity, so they can do rock climbing, hang gliding, all these things they can do. And for doing all these things, scientists have to do some work. So what they'll do, they'll try to make experiments, they'll try to find different elements to be brought into the planet, and with that they can introduce atmosphere back into their space. And there are so many terminologies. I'm going to tell you one by one. So what is atmosphere, what is hydrosphere, what is biosphere, all these things I'm going to tell you. So fundamentally, when you are in Earth, you have a very big, thick protective atmosphere. That is, kilometers and kilometers of high amount of gas is there in our atmosphere, which is trying to protect us from the radiation from the sun. So the most common of them is carbon dioxide. That when it is there in the atmosphere, it is absorbing the heat from the sun. It is an ultraviolet range of light, and it is getting scattered. So it is getting spreading across the sky, and with that the earth is little warm. If the earth did not have any atmosphere, it would have become cold, because Mars is also slightly cold because of its motion. It is very slow, because it doesn't have a very quickly motion. It is only having that stability of having its surface in a very cold climate, and the atmosphere is also very thin. So what we can do, we can send a lot of fluorocarbons, that is perfluorocarbons, and we can introduce them back into the atmosphere, and with that, all that, it will become hot again, and after hotness, all the ice in the polar regions will get melted, and this will have a runaway effect of greenhouse gas. And we can also bring nitrogen from other planets. So there is surplus amount of nitrogen in Venus or Titan, so we'll put a pump to Titan, we will suck all the nitrogen from there, and we will reintroduce it back into Mars. We can make a new Earth 2, that is called as Mars. And after doing all these things, so adding water, warmth, liquid, all the biosphere, ecosphere, all these things we do, we can start to make a lot of new lives, and all these new lives will support us into the future. So from today, some 1,000 years from now, Abhi 55 or Abhi 65 will have another version of himself living in another planet. And after all these things, he will also like to want to introduce a lot of new things. So Martian birds, Martian reptiles, Martian snakes, Martian crow, all these things will come and live in the Mars planet. So out of 1,000 years, a new kind of species would have come, and they would have all evolved into a new kind of species and planets. So after doing all these things, even still we'll be working, we have to use some kind of experts. So by the time some 1,000 years from now, we would have already mastered everything. So we should not have to worry about only one planet. So we would have gone and explored other planets also. We would have gone to Titan, we would have gone to Pluto, we would have gone to next galaxy, next star. All these things we would have explored. So this is how we are trying to colonize, or we are going to try to go and live there in Mars. So now coming back to our present day, that is now back in, we are now in 2021. We have our small friend, our rover, that is going there in the Mars surface right now. And can anyone tell me what is its name?
Dobby.
No. What is the name of this rover?
A clue, sir.
It is Spirit, Opportunity, and next one is called this.
Sherlock.
It's called Perseverance. Okay.
What?
It is called as Perseverance. So Perseverance rover is there, and right now.
Sir,
Yes.
so it's the sir. Can I say something? So it is the robot that checks on Mars if it's okay or not. Correct?
Not only doing that, it is doing so many things. So this week, what the rover has sent us is the first pictures from Supercam. What is a Supercam? It is a laser micro imager. That is, it can take very precise images after sending out laser beams. So what they found last week is that they found a very curious rock in the shape of a big kind of chapati, and that rock is now looking slightly very shallow. Why? Because they found a lot of sediments in the top. So this sedimentation is right now being studied, whether it could be some other elements. So whether there can be any other carbon based elements, whether any other carbon
You
based,
update so many stuff.
whether any carbon based elements are there on top of it. All these things are now being studied, and this not only is very curious thing, but also it is the first time a feature or a new element is being trying to be found in another planet. So we have already known that there are a lot of other elements in the other planets or other spaces using only images, that is looking through a telescope. Now we are trying to find things using our naked eye, that is taking a photograph, trying to picture what is the element that is going to be there, because you are using laser and pointing at the laser. After some time, there is going to be a small amount of heat or radiation. With that, they are going to find what is the element present in that rock, that Mars rock. And we have also started testing with a driller. There is a drill bit on front of the Perseverance rover. We have started trying to test out the drill bit also. So what did we see today? We saw how we can live on Mars, how are we traveling there, what are the things we need to carry from here to there.
So can I say my doubt?
Not now, just one more minute. After that you can ask. So how we are living there, how are we going to go there, all these things we talked about today. So this is going to be your topic for the next week. Whichever you choose, it is going to be one.
What is a black hole?
We are not going to have a quarrel. No. I will answer the questions. Samyukta, can you create 5 options? Mercury, Venus, black hole, nebula, planets as a 5 options.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is
What's
your...
the question, sir?
We just put Mercury. Mercury in option 1, Venus in option 2, black hole in option 3, nebulae in option 4, and planets in option 5.
No question, sir.
What do you want next week? Question.
What is a black hole?
Sagar, don't do this. Don't do 1 1 1 1 1. Don't do this. Stop doing it. So, what was your question?
I want my question, sir. My question is, if we go to space, how do we reach home?
Using spacecraft. We have to go there and we have to take a spacecraft. We have to enter the Earth in certain angle. We can't.
Fifth one is how are planets formed, sir?
Yes, our planets form. Yes. So all these things we have to take care. When we go to space, we have a carrier vehicle. It is a re-entry vehicle. Vehicle enters the atmosphere, it will start to get very hot. So they'll have very safe thermal insulation and all these things, so that they can able to bring it back inside. What any other questions you have?
Sir, but Sagar is saying we'll be there forever. We should have food, water, and air like that. If we feel
No,
comfortable, if we feel comfortable.
no, nobody is saying it is going to be
Sir,
comfortable.
shall I launch it?
Yeah, okay, you can launch it. Okay, now you have polls. So everybody, you can go in polls and you can start voting which you want. So I will choose mine.
Black hole, sir.
Okay, you can choose whatever you want.
Sir, how to vote, sir?
You have to go to polls again and you have to select. You have to select by yourself.
Hole, sir.
You can't say Makanama. You have to go and select in your polls. Go to polls and select.
Sir, I'm not able.
I think you are the only one who will be last to see it. Probably you keep it to yourself. You tell me in the last. Okay.
Ma'am, sir. Me and Sagar voted for black hole.
No problem. It is up to you. Not a problem. Okay.
No, Mercury.
Okay.
Black hole.
Okay. All done.
Yes.
Everybody finished voting.
Yes.
Okay. You
Sir,
can.
only two did, sir.
What about others? I also voted.
Sir, please, black hole, sir. I am really begging you, sir.
That is the problem. There is
I was waiting for so much time to listen about black hole.
we are not doing this. We are not doing please sir, yes sir, no sir. We are doing voting, sir. If you vote,
It's not fair, sir.
then no, I should not be very favoritism. I can't have Sagar winning in all classes. Everybody can vote, they can feel. If they vote, they'll get the chance.
Okay, sir, what did you vote?
Then it will be very biased. I can't tell my vote.
No, please. What is the black hole?
You wanted. Okay, you voted, Kanama? Finished voting? Finished voting?
So, please,
Finished?
so please,
Samitra, done?
Please hold on.
Samitra, done?
I want black hole. So black holes, sir. Black holes.
Yeah,
Please. It's a black hole.
please don't shout. Don't shout, please. Samita, done?
Sir, I can't.
Yeah, you will tell yours in the last. Okay, do in the last.
But everyone is saying black hole.
Everyone is saying black hole. Oh, out of 6, how many is black hole? Is there a number? Samita, is there a number?
Sir, I voted for black hole, sir.
Uh, some two votes have been for black holes in the polls.
Okay. Apart from that, most of them have said black hole.
One is nebulae, sir.
Okay, that is me.
I even want that, sir.
Okay. So there is a tie. There is a tie between either the nebulae or black hole. Okay.
Black hole, please.
Okay, we'll have a final say. Whoever has black hole can type black hole. I will take that as a vote. If someone has nebulae, they can type it as nebulae. The number of
Sir, everyone are saying black hole, sir. It should be black hole only.
now it is time. Now it is the time. 1 black hole, 2 black hole, 1 nebulae, 3 black hole, 2 nebulae. Okay. So okay, 4 black hole. So it is done. So it is black
Sir,
hole.
you for nebulae.
I'm for nebulae. That's all. So it won. Black hole won.
Sir,
So
I didn't vote. I didn't vote.
what do you want to vote? So it is going to be tie. Or it is going to-
Nebulae.
you want to vote nebulae? Okay. Then if someone else votes nebulae, then it is going to be tie again.
Sir, you, sir.
I'm going to choose nebulae.
Then 4, sir.
Then it is going to be tie. Okay. Last, we'll do one thing. We'll do both nebulae and a black hole. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So next week it is going to be 2 sessions at the same time. We'll have one about nebulae and one about black hole. Okay.
Sir, you only saw few of the black hole, but before that there are many black holes.
Yeah, there are so many black holes. There is not just one black hole in the world. So there is going to be
Sir, Aryan and Sana told black hole is why are they standing on nebulae? They have even voted.
no. What we are going to do? We are going to have 2 sessions. Either we are going to start with a black hole next week because most of you started with black hole.
Start with black hole.
We'll start with black hole, and by the time we'll go for the next week after that, we'll go into nebulae. Okay, fine. Then good. So you have any questions? You can ask me now.
Sir, what's mean a nebulae?
Nebulae are the.
Sir, that you say after on that next class.
No, I'll just give you a clue. Maybe if you are interested, you can go and search. It is a birthplace of so many stars. Nebulae are the birthplace of so many
Sir,
stars.
I'm voting for nebulae.
No, you can't do that. No, it is done. Only
Yeah.
No. You can't
Sir,
do that.
yes, sir, nebulae. Sir.
Sir, I want to vote for nebulae. Please. I love sir, it's already voted, sir. Please, sir. No, it's my wish, sir. You know whoever votes to vote.
That is
Yes,
not.
sir. Nebulae.
No. You can't do that. You can't decide that. We have decided
Yes.
black hole.
Yes, sir.
Black hole.
No.
Black hole. That is going to be because this is fair world. This is a democratic world. Democracy is going to be there. We are going to have black hole next week. That's why I told you when you are voting, you have to be very right. You can't cheat on votes.
I did my mistake, sir, because my sister told I voted for black hole. Honestly, if I said nebulae first itself, I could have did, sir.
What is this? What is this called as? What is inside
Brain.
this? That
Mind.
you have to have your own. You don't have to believe your sister.
You did it! Exactly, sir.
That's good. Okay. Any questions you ask me now? Not enough of time. We have done with the activity. So what do you want to ask? I can ask anything.
No, I have.
Okay. No questions. We'll end the session. Okay.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Bye, Abhi.
Bye, ma'am.